on the channel, it is AEW Double or Nothing weekend, and with that comes AEW action figure reveals. In today's video, we're breaking them all down.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another reveals video. Earlier today we did WWE reveals. Now here we are tonight doing AEW Double or Nothing action figure reveals. And as usual, got my handy dandy iPad right here. We're going to go through, we're going to take a look at everything that was shown today. We're going to talk about it as well, break it down, give my thoughts, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of stuff coming. These AEW pay-per-view reveals, they really do set the tone for about 6 months of releases, sometimes even longer than that, as we've seen in prior revealed stuff that still hasn't hit the store shelves yet. But another exciting day of reveals. A lot of major talent that AEW has signed. We're finally getting first real looks at of the figures. So there's a lot of excitement here to be shown, and we're going to break it all down like we usually do. Got to give a shout out to Ringside Collectibles, posting a lot of this stuff on their Twitters. AEW Jazzware's Twitter site, posting these. You'll see that's where a lot of these images come from, so make sure you support all those out there. Use discount code Kyle while you're at it. So there you go. So let's dive in. Let's just go through stream of consciousness, or whatever you want to call it. We'll go through line by line here. And the first things we're going to show today, we've got from Supreme line. Supreme, I guess AEW's version of the Mattel Ultimates, as we know. Supreme Series 3, Malachi, don't call him Aleister Black. We got him coming here. I'm really excited about this one. Longtime viewers of the channel know, one of my favorite modern day superstars. His AEW run's been so-so. I'd like to see a little bit more from him from AEW. Hopefully we will get that. But man, this Supreme figure, next level. You guys know I love big figures. I love tattoos. I love face paint. I also love antlers on my figure. And that's what we get here with Malachi Black. Good soft, good use here, but I love the mask, the crazy mask he's got going on. Of course, all of his crazy tattoos, as we always see with the Supremes. Or I shouldn't say always see, but we know what we're getting. We're getting a lot of accessories. We're getting 3 heads with him, so that is a lot of heads. Choose your own head adventure, as we say. But a lot of people could buy 2 of these, get 2 different figures going on. This Supreme line could be the death of me. Deep down in my heart, I want to collect a mint-on card set and a loose set, and maybe have to get 2 of each figure. I don't know, though. That's a road. That's a real estate and a pricey road, but we'll see what happens. But Malachi Black, I'm definitely picking up 2 of him. One of my all-time favorites. Got to pick him up, and he's in Series 3. Then we also saw in Series 3, another one we knew that was coming is Kenny Omega. No stranger to any AEW line. Kenny Omega here once again. Really good looking figure. It seems to be the best head sculpt on him. But one thing about all these head sculpts we're seeing right here, these are the prototypes. So yes, they could get a little bit better, but they can also get a little bit worse in mass-produced faction. We saw with Christian, his prototype didn't look so hot. The actual figure that we reviewed on the channel looked great. This Kenny Omega looks good. I hope it doesn't get dumbed down too much for the everyday release for the customers out there. Once again, you get 2 bottom halves, so it's really a 2-in-1 figure once again. Get 2 different outfits you can wear with that top. So a lot of people, once again, you're probably buying 3 of this Kenny Omega. Then we got to some exclusive territory and some interesting things here. And I believe the first one we saw is one we knew was coming. I'm really excited about this one because Adam Page, of course, stealing my country western shirt gimmick. I've been rocking the country western shirts for about 15 years now, and then he just comes in and steals my gimmick from me. It's okay. I stole it from Porter Wagner and Marty Stewart anyways. But we're getting Adam Hangman Page, which you knew this was coming, but apparently it's an exclusive. I believe a Target exclusive, Unmatched Target exclusive, but it's him in a country western wear shirt. Need to get one of these. I need to get a custom head, and I had to put it on one of these for my desk. It would look great. He does, of course, come with the Kool-Aid pitcher. He always does. Comes with the world title belt as well, the AEW world title. Very cool, and we've said it before on the channel. I really do like the Unmatched packaging over the Unrivaled. The Unrivaled looks a lot like Classic Superstar, so it's crazy I'm saying that, but man, that Unmatched packaging really does pop, and that's what we got Adam Hangman Page in right here. Then we go to a Walmart exclusive, and a lot of people hate exclusives. I get it, I understand, but we just all have to realize, putting our business hat on, exclusives are the name of the game, and not just action figures. A lot of people don't realize a lot of food products are exclusive. Heck, there's this brand new apple cider Mountain Dew, but it's only available at Kroger's. Guess what? There's no Kroger's in my area. Do I have to drive 2 hours to get it? I guess I would. But we got more exclusives here, and exclusives make the worlds go around. Like I said, not just action figures, but food, clothing. You get Martha Stewart bakeware set at Kmart back in the day or whatever it was. That's to drive people in the door. Hopefully they'll buy other stuff. But that's what retail is so competitive these days. That's where you see exclusives. And guess what? AEW, or Jazzwares I should say, Mattel, they're going to give exclusives to retailers because guess what? In turn of that, hey, I need an extra spot on the pegs for my normal Unrivaled series or whatever it may be. It's all a game. It's all passing the coins around, doing that kind of stuff. Believe you me, I've been doing it for 20 years. I understand how the game works. I've even came up with exclusive products you have bought and you have put in your mouth. So think of that. Think of that next time you go to bed. But we're getting a Walmart exclusive, and man, they're coming in hot. CM Punk Walmart exclusive. A lot of people moaning and groaning, but if you think right now that red pants LJ and Cody, the Sting Luminary, not extremely hard. Of course, when they first come out, everybody wants to spend a fortune on them, but if you got a little patience, I think you can get them at a good price. So I think this CM Punk, it'll probably be $100 and some when it comes out, but after a while, you should be, if you're patient, be able to get this at retail. But it's a good one, soft, good jacket going on with the AEW logo. It'll be interesting if this is the first CM Punk to hit the store shelves. That could be a selling tactic by the Jazzwares team saying, we're going to give you the first CM Punk figure and it's going to be a Walmart exclusive. Then, of course, we'll get the other mainline releases down the road. But I could see that. It's all about selling, moving units, getting position on the shelf, all that kind of stuff. Mattel and Jazzwares, their teams get along, but at the end of the day, you know they're wishing the other one in the back, like, oh, I hope we get some of their sales. They're both doing that. It's just the way business works. But CM Punk's coming. And then we saw, and I believe these to be a Target exclusive, we saw another Darby Allin, kind of the half CM Punk, half Darby Allin skateboard going on picture. Looks really good. And then Sammy Guevara, not a lot of meat on the bone on this one, but he got him with his TNT TV title. That's what Ringside said. Or in the comments of Ringside said these were Target exclusives, so I guess that's the case. But I think it's Darby, Sammy, and that Adam Hangman Page. I guess those are going to be Target exclusives. I believe they're going to be Unmatched exclusives. I guess more to come. I'm sure maybe by the time this video drops, maybe we'll have a little clearer answers. But Darby, Sammy, no strangers to the Elite line. They're strangers to the Elite line, that's for sure. But no stranger to the Unmatched, Unrivaled line, I should say. So we got that. Then we got our first look at Brian Danielson. I guess Brian Danielson in this case. We got our first look at him, and some of his head sculpts, a little bit head-scratching. I got to be honest, not the best. I'm not a big fan of that screaming head sculpt. The more docile one looks okay, but like I said earlier, I think once this goes to mainline production, I think it will be a lot better. He is a plain Jane figure, but he is a big-time superstar, so a lot of people are going to want this one. Another one in but in the same vein as the Adam Hangman Page Western wear one, we get Kenny Omega in his crazy Hawaiian sport coat. I'm in all day for that one. That looks like something I would wear to a meeting just to shock the world, but I actually love that. He's got his sunglasses going on. He's got his jeans. Very, very cool. I love these street gear figures like this. Moment in time figures. Looks really, really good. I'm here for that all day long. Then we see Unrivaled 11, and that's where that was coming from. I believe Unrivaled 11. Or actually, I think that Kenny might have been an exclusive as well. So if that's a Target exclusive, ooh, that's going to be a good one. That's one I really want to get a handle on for sure. I might buy a couple of that one. It looks so good. But then we go to Unrivaled Series 11, and we get Jericho in his prison outfit, and we'll talk a little bit more prison outfits later on in this very video. But you get Jericho, once again, no stranger to the Unrivaled, Unmatched Jazzwares lines. Jericho's had many figures. He's had the most figures of anybody. We're getting another one here. We're also getting Penelope Ford, first time in the line, female. We see females not going so hot for AEW. We'll see if Penelope Ford can change things. She's definitely a head turner for me, that's for sure. So I'm all in on getting Penelope Ford. And then we're getting another Darby Allin, and you know what? Face paint sells. Kids want the face painted stuff. Kyle wants face painted stuff. We get once again a half Sting, half Darby Allin face paint, much like that Sting we got in the past from Walmart. Now we get kind of a Darby Allin version of this. He also comes with a bottle of alcohol as well, so ooh, good for him. And a baseball bat, and then a different color paint scheme on the pants for him. Usually it's more black stuff. This is almost like an army green going on. But Darby Allin, no stranger. And he's no stranger, as that's the next one we're going to talk about here. He's part of Unmatched Series 5, I believe that is. He's the Darby. It's the LJN figure we were supposed to get way back in the day that, for whatever reason, they said didn't fit in the packaging. They made him too big. We're finally getting him, and we're getting him in Unmatched Series 5. I don't know about the LJNs. I'm here for him. I like them as a moment in time thing. I was a kid of the age of the LJNs. but I could see a lot of people saying, I don't need this, I'm passing on this. We're seeing that red Cody, and then the blue one, of course, didn't sell the hottest. I don't know if Darby will, but you never know. The power of face paint might propel consumers to pick him up. We'll see what happens. But we roll on with Unmatched Series 5. We get Shawn Spears, the chairman of AEW. I'm not the biggest Shawn Spears fan, but cool enough, him getting his first AEW figure. It's been a long time since he got that Mattel Elite as Ty Dillinger back in the day. But we're getting one here. It's got his tattoos. We got the white gear. We do get a custom chair for him, which I guess is fitting for the character. So I think some people might want him in Unmatched Series 5. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but that Daniel Bryan was also part of... Bryan Danielson. I'm like Jim Ross. I can't get him right. So shoot me. But Bryan Danielson was also in Unmatched Series 5. I think I forgot to mention that. Then we took a look at a little exclusive action. You guys know I love a good exclusive. A ringside collectible exclusive version of Jim Ross. Very interesting. He went the exclusive route from ringside. It does make a little bit sense because most people that want Jim Ross are the hardcore fans out there, where I don't know if average Joe, the average kid out there, really wants an announcer figure. I know I did as a kid, but it wouldn't be the first figure I picked up. It would be, hey, I have everything else on the pegs. I'll grab Jim Ross now. Or maybe I have an announcer at the very end. That's the way I would do that. So I could see this being a good exclusive. Looks like he's going to come with a chair, which is really cool. You know we're going to get a commentary table for AEW one of these days. We know we're going to get a Tony Schiavone figure. Maybe he'll be another ringside exclusive in the future. We'll see. Whoa. Stop the clock. Just as I'm finishing up my video, I go back to the internet, and of course there's some surprises to be had. And I figured this is the perfect time to break in on these surprises as Ringside Collectibles put up on their website for pre-order right now. You can get Unrivaled, a Series 10 pre-order. It's up there. There's the old Taz figure I thought we'd see pictures of. Maybe I just missed it, but you can get him for pre-order right now. You can also order Jim Ross that we talked about. So the Jim Ross announcer figure. But who's joining him about a month later and up for pre-order right now? Tony Schiavone. So we get Tony Schiavone as well. The yin to JR's yang, I guess. We're getting an announcer chair with Tony Schiavone as well. Not sure I like the render on this one. I got to think it'll look a lot better in person. But we're getting Tony Schiavone to go with that JR figure. So that is up for pre-order. Get after that right now if you're looking for that. And use discount code Kyle to save 10%, of course. And then we get another ring. And I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me with this ring business. I don't need a third full-scale ring from the Jazzwares team, but this, of course, comes with an exclusive version of Sting in the Rampage ring. I'm going to have to buy it. I don't know if I'll just flip the ring or what, but I definitely need the Sting figure. Might even play a little long game on that one. I don't know. I pre-ordered the other stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this ring. I definitely want the Sting figure. I'm just not needing another ring like this, but it is what it is. But if you're looking for some of this stuff, of course, pre-order right now at Ringside Collectibles. But it is an older version of JR, and once again, the prototype pictures always look a little different when they get mass-produced and they come out there. He loses me a little bit in the face. You definitely know it's JR, but the glasses seem a hair big to me, and I don't know about the goatee. It might be a little bit too gray, maybe a little bit too thick for what JR really has. The glasses just being the biggest part is what catches my eye a lot. And also the waist on this one. It looks a little strange with the suit coat with the hula hoop waist in there. I'd almost like it if they would remove that, but it is what it is. It's JR. We've needed a new JR for a long time, so this should make a lot of longtime wrestling fans happy. He's got the AEW logo on his shirt, so I could see somebody maybe acetoning that off and get a more common JR, but you'd have to get a different head because this is definitely older JR, but still cool. A Ringside Collectible exclusive. Use discount code Kyle when the time comes to order that bad boy. Then we saw another female figure, and I don't have high hopes for this one. And this one seems to come straight out of your mama's kitchen. Yeah, you heard me right. Straight out of your mama's kitchen as we got Red Velvet in Unmatched Series 5. Interesting look on her. It looks really, really good on the prototype. It looks like they really got her face down pat. We'll see what happens when it goes to mass retail, if it'll stick up with that and if it'll still look that good. But I think it looks really good for what it is. So there you go. And then we got Kip Sabian. Yes, Kip Sabian. And that is Unrivaled 11, I believe. Yes, Unrivaled 11 with Kip Sabian. And then we get Penelope Ford. So I believe Penelope Ford may be the Chase or a rare edition of one of these. So we got two different outfits on her. And I don't think she's in two different lines. She is in that line. But we know we're getting Chase. We're getting rare editions, all that fun stuff. But Penelope Ford, I'm all in on. Kip Sabian hasn't been on in a long time. I know he wears a bag on his head in the audience every once in a while. But it's been quite some time since him and Miro were together. That was a long time ago. And then Miro had his run after that. So I got to think he's coming back with Steam, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense because I can think a lot of people right now he's going to be a huge peg warmer. Most people aren't going to even remember him or know him. They're going to say, who's this guy? So it'll be interesting to see how he does and how Penelope Ford does as well. So interesting times ahead, but we keep marching on with Unrivaled Series 11. One a lot of people are looking forward to, Adam Cole, his first AEW figure. We've had many of Mattel Elite in the past. Now he's getting his due in the AEW line as part of Unrivaled Series 11. A little bit giraffe neck. He's got a little Jeffrey the giraffe going on there. It's very interesting, but of course he's got the patented hands. Definitely looks like him. It does come with a coat. Hopefully the coat's not too big on him. One thing that drives me nuts about Adam Cole, every time I watch him on TV, it looks like he's wearing like his dad's coat. The coat's like too big, like the wrist hang down too far on his hand. It just always looks strange to me. So we'll see if the figure is true to life. We'll see if we'll have that. But it definitely looks like what he wears on the show, just shrunk down to action figure form, except for that long giraffe neck. But we'll see how that ends up going out. Unrivaled 11 continues on with Jungle Boy. I believe he's going to be the Chase Rare Edition, whatever you want to call it, in one of these here, as we get him in green tights and more of a kind of a purplish, maroonish, reddish kind of tight. I don't know what to think about the screaming head here. The way he looks here, if you threw some hair all over his body, he almost looks like, what's that from Land of the Lost? You guys all know Land of the Lost, the old cartoon, not the movie. I never saw the movie, but I saw, not the cartoon. I think there was a cartoon. But the 70s, 80s, it was on Nickelodeon. Was it like Chaka? Was it Chaka? Was that his name? He looks like Chaka without his hair. It's like they plucked all the hair off Chaka is what he looks like, if I'm saying that name right. But I don't know what to think about that screaming head sculpt. I think I'll use the more docile one. But it almost looks like, or it looks like Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother that acts. I mean, there's something off with this Jungle Boy. I'm not a huge fan of the last Jungle Boy, but I think that one is better than this one. But once again, once it hits the mainstream, once it goes through production, maybe it'll look a little bit better. But this is a little perplexing to me from where I sit, as you guys know, right here at this table right here. Then we saw Supreme 1, a little farther ahead, Supreme 1 coming out this summer. I wouldn't be shocked to see these maybe by the end of June, but we got Britt Baker shown here. Talk about night and day difference from the Britt Baker we got originally in the Unmatched line. This is a much, much better version. Obviously, higher price point, more detail, all that kind of stuff, a 2-in-1 figure. But it does look really good. And then Cody Rhodes, will this be his last AEW figure? I believe that will be the case. But the Supreme Cody Rhodes will probably be the best Cody Rhodes figure the Jazzwares team put together. A very, very cool one, kind of the Homelander-inspired outfit he's got going on. It does look really, really slick, looks really, really good. So I like that. I like the looks of that one right there. So that was some of the ringside pictures. Then we got to turn our attention to some pictures of some pipeline reveals. All right, time to look at some pipeline reveals we got from the Jazzwares team. And really the Star Wars Hasbro team really started this phenomenon off of pipeline reveals, as they would show stuff that is going to be made. They just announce it basically without any kind of renders or anything like that. And that's what we got here from the Jazzwares team. But we talked about, or they talked about, AEW Unrivaled Series 13, another heavy hitter set with some guys that have been due a figure for a while and some new talents that have been due a figure that are going to be really exciting for people. And who do we got? Danhausen. I'm actually a little shocked we didn't get a render of Danhausen today, but Danhausen is coming on Unrivaled Series 13. A guy that really doesn't even need to wrestle. I've been on the Danhausen train right when he first started the makeup. I remember seeing him before makeup days. Probably a good move to add face paint. You know I'd agree on that. I'm a big face paint guy, but Danhausen finally getting his just due, finally getting an action figure. Have to think this will sell, because kids, you know they love face paint, and so do adults apparently. But Danhausen coming in on Unrivaled Series 13. Speaking of face paint, we're also getting Jeff Hardy. I hope it's not this version of Jeff Hardy, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the version. It's like the top picks just being released in a different format. So it'll be cool comparison time. Here's the Jazzwares, here's the Mattel Elite, basically the same Jeff Hardy figure in two different companies. So that is kind of cool. And you can't have Jeff Hardy without a little bit of Matt Hardy, so we're getting Matt Hardy as well in Unrivaled Series 13. Then, first time in the line, some exciting ones here. We get the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, the trio right there, all in the same line. I really love building a team all at once. Nothing worse than having to go Series 13 for the Butcher, Series 14 for the Bunny, and then getting the Blade in Series 15. I'm glad they're putting them all in the same line. They're putting them in Series 13, so that should be pretty cool. I'm all about the Butcher and the Blade figures. Then we get to AEW Unrivaled Series 14, and we get some re-releases, or not necessarily re-releases, but guys we've gotten before from the AEW roster, but we get some new ones as well. And the new ones here, we're getting Swerve Strickland. He just got a Mattel Basic just at the end of his WWE run, so now we're getting a full articulated figure from him. Should be cool to get Swerve Strickland, especially if he comes with the coat he's pictured in. That'd be a good looking figure. And then we're getting Keith Lee. We got Mattel Elites. Now we're getting Jazzwares versions of Keith Lee. So that'll be interesting. Very similar to his Mattel Elite attire. So we'll see how that shakes out. That might be another comparison, much like that Jeff Hardy. Then we're getting some rehash. Some guys we've seen many a times in some instances, but we're getting in Unrivaled Series 14. We're getting Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. Of course, we got to get those guys back out there. And then who else you throwing in? Well, you're throwing in Orange Cassidy. So Orange Cassidy getting his third figure. It'll be interesting what different things they can do with Orange Cassidy. It's like the second one, it just felt like a rehash of the first one. So how's this third one going to shake out? It'll be really interesting. Maybe a new head scan, maybe something different. Got to get a little bit of meat on the bone there somewhere, I think, for him. And then we're getting one I'm very excited about. Probably my favorite female wrestler on the AEW roster, Chris Statlander. We got her alien version in the past. I believe this is going to be more her dark, new persona, where she's from Long Island, New York now. She's not from the Andromeda system or whatever it was in the past. So that'll be interesting where that shakes out. But that's on Unrivaled Series 14, a little pipeline action. And then speaking of pipeline action, we're getting Owen Hart. We knew this was coming. I honestly thought they'd be a little farther ahead in the Owen Hart. I thought maybe we'd see actually a render of the figure, or not a render of the figure, an actual prototype of the figure here. I thought that would have been smoothed along a lot faster, but it is not in this case. But we are getting him in the Luminaries line, which is kind of the classic superstar of the set. We know it goes LJN, Luminary, and so forth. But AEW Unmatched Series 6, we're getting Owen Hart, and we're getting him in a little bit of throwback stuff. And a lot of people are disappointed about this one. I can already hear it in the air right now. They want, the King of Hearts. They want some WWE Owen Hart stuff, but that just isn't possible, unfortunately. So you got to get Japan Owen Hart. You got to get Calgary time Owen Hart. It's just real tough, and it's the way it's going to go. But we're getting two of him, and we're getting one of them as a ringside collectible. So ringside collectible exclusive, I should say. So that is pretty cool that you're getting two versions. But once again, you're trying to get the most out of your money, get the most out of your molds. Well, they know Owen Hart is going to sell. I'm sure they're donating some of the money, or all the money possibly, to his foundation. But we're getting him in a red tights and silver tights. An interesting Owen Hart head sculpt, but once again, it's younger Owen Hart. It's not the Owen Hart a lot of people are thinking about. They did show packaging. Now, the packaging, I couldn't really tell from the picture. I assume it's just a render of what it'll look like through the plastic packaging. But at first glance, maybe I'm just been battered and abused by the Marvel Legends team with the cardboard packaging. It almost looks like card or plastic-free packaging on that Owen Hart. I don't think that's the case. I didn't see that anywhere, but I did find that to be a little strange when I did see that render there. But we also saw some more characters. We got Owen Hart, as we said, coming in Unmatched Series 6. Another guy we're getting in there, Malachi Black. He is going to return. We get him in Supreme. We're getting him in Unmatched. More Malachi Blacks, the better for me. You guys know tattoos, face paint, and he's a good guy. I talked about boss rooting with him for a long time one day. So very cool to get another Malachi Black. And then we talked about prison jumpsuits. Well, we talked about the Jericho. Well, in Series 6, we're getting Santana and Ortiz, their return to the lineup. Once again, in the same set. I do always appreciate that. But we got them in kind of their Dead Presidents gear. They got face paint going on. And that should help them move a little bit better than they do, as we still can get Santana and Ortiz on the store shelf pegs right now. But I think the addition of some face paint, that's all they're missing. That's what they're missing right there. We're also seeing Unmatched Series 6, Ruby Soho, her first time getting a figure from the AEW side of things. Of course, we did get a Mattel. It was an NXT Elite, and we also got a basic from her in the past, but now we're getting the Jazzwares version. And then one that we knew was coming eventually, just didn't know when. It's coming in Unmatched Series 6. Mr. Brody Lee in her red suit, very nice looking red suit. Once again, a customizer's dream. You take Brody's head off. You can use that on a lot of different people if you're so inclined there. So I thought that was neat enough there, and a lot of people are looking for more Brody Lees, and we needed him in a suit for sure. And then we got grayed out grayscale renders for AEW Unmatched Series 7. And they finally decided to send Hook. They sent Hook in, and he's coming to Unmatched Series 7. Very interesting how popular Hook is. He's been very well protected in AEW so far from my site. He hasn't been fighting any really big dudes. He's with Danhausen now, getting that Danhausen rub. They're rubbing each other, I guess is what you could say. But very interesting to get Hook. No sign of the Taz, his dad Taz. We saw pictures before. I was hoping we'd see a little bit more. Maybe I just missed them. But give me some more Taz figures. Then we got Pac coming in here, of course. Pac. Depends. Choose your own adventure. Pac coming back to the line. The other one wasn't as bad. One of the heads was definitely better than the other one. This is another one, a crazy, maniacal version of him. He looks really crazy, but that'll be a good one. And then once again, you get the rest of Death Triangle here. You get Ray Phoenix and Penta in the same line. Always cool to get the whole team right there. And then one we just recently unboxed on the channel, she's getting a return to the lineup, and she's going to be in Unmatched Series 7 as well. We're talking about Thunder Rosa, so good for her getting out there. And then Unmatched Series 7, trying to keep it all together here. We're getting an LJN-inspired figure once again, and this time we're getting CM Punk. So that'll be interesting. Looks like CM Punk from his debut kind of AEW attire with the long tights. All the tattoos. Should be a good one for the LJN crowd out there. I don't know how well it'll sell, though. As we talked about the LJNs, I don't know if they're hitting where they want them to be hitting, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, but CM Punk coming there. Then we got to see Unmatched Series 8. We got some more pipeline reveals going on. And once again, we get Malachi Black in the lineup. He's making a lot of figures of him. Not a ton of TV time, but a ton of figure time. And I'm okay. And it looks like this is going to be him in his dressed up House of Black gear here. So that is good because we'll have a Supreme one. We'll have a regular one. We need a more suited one as well with him. So this does fit what they're going for. Then we keep building out the Dark Order set. We're getting Alex Reynolds. I got to think that might be a little bit of a peg warmer, but we'll see what happens. But Alex Reynolds will be great with your Dark Order shelf. You need guys like him in there. Then we saw Arn Anderson, and man, I'm jazzed up. I'm hyped up for this one. The really disappointing thing, though, is I really want a Tully Blanchard. I want a modern-day Tully Blanchard. I would love it from that match with FTR where he kind of had the Andy Kaufman jumpsuit going on. Man, I want that Tully Blanchard so bad. But I'll definitely take this Arn Anderson. I'm all in. Arn Anderson, a childhood favorite of mine. Big Four Horsemen guy, as you guys know. So I'm happy to get an Arn Anderson figure in a suit. You put him with Cody, and you're off to the races. But really cool that they're digging into some of these managerial characters as well in the Jazzwares lines here. And then we get an Abaddon. This is quite the set. Unmatched Series 8 might be the greatest set of all time from AEW so far. As you're getting so much face paint here, so many crazy characters, getting Arn Anderson, and then Alex Reynolds too. It's going to be a great set. I'm really jazzed up, really hyped for this set. But Abaddon, crazy, maniacal, face-painted female, something out of a horror movie. Man, sign me up all day long. Once again, I'm here for that. And then to go along with our Malachi Black, we're getting Brody King and Buddy Matthews in their House of Black attire. Awesome. Awesome to complete that team. Anytime you get the team in the same set, you guys know I'm here for it, as I said earlier. So I like the idea of that a whole lot. Then we saw more pictures of the GameStop exclusives, which I pre-ordered at the last Fan Fest. But we're getting Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson in their Street Fighter-inspired figure gear. I don't know about this one. These aren't going to be my favorite figures. I'm definitely picking them up, but I don't think they hold a candle to some of the stuff we saw here today and some of the stuff that's been revealed to be coming today. But it is what it is. One thing I did notice today on some of these render pictures, and I saw it there, you could tell on some of the Unmatched Series 7, for example, it looks like the time has finally come. I've been championing this for a long time. I'm sure they listen to me, probably not, but the day is finally coming. It looks like we are getting pinless joints for our AEW Unmatched and Unrivaled figures. Rumor was Supreme was going to have figures with pinless joints, but it sounds like they're moving it to the other line. I said it all along. Once Mattel took that step, Jazzwares would follow, and the time has finally come for that. So I'm very excited. Pinless joints in our future across the board. And the hits kept on coming, and we saw a few things that we saw before, but we saw it here once again via Ringside Collectibles. These are the Shop AEW exclusives. Of course, the Kenny Omega, the Shop AEW website here in a couple of days, if it's anything like the Chris Jericho one. But then we do have a John Moxley one coming as well down the line. Got to think that's maybe the next pay-per-view, which I think, what is that, end of June, early July, something like that. It's a New Japan show, and I think that'll probably be the exclusive for that. So there's two more exclusive to add to the really large exclusive list from AEW, and why not add one more? They did come in later on Ringside Collectibles Twitter. They did announce a Ringside Collectibles exclusive to go along with Jim Ross, to go along with Tony Schiavone. We're getting the man behind the mask. We're not talking about Alice Cooper. We're talking about Excalibur, so we're going to really complete that commentary team right there. We're going to have all three of those guys. He will be a Ringside exclusive. Comes with a chair as well and a microphone. So you Excalibur fans, you're getting your chance to get him in your collection. We also saw the final other thing that was kind of announced a little later on. Unrivaled Series 12. We're getting Dax Harwood. We're getting Cash Wheeler. We're getting FTR. They're running that one back. I hope these two are a lot better than the last one. The last two were one of the most disappointing releases from AEW so far in the Jazzwares sets. So I hope we get much better head scans, head sculpts on these guys. Hopefully they look worlds better than the last set, so we'll stay tuned for that, but hopefully we get a good FTR here. We're getting another female figure in Unrivaled Series 12. We're getting Jamie Hayter to complete your team with Britt Baker. Where's Rebel? Get us Rebel. We need her in the set as well. I gotta think she'll be coming eventually. And then Private Party finally getting their due in figure form. They've been around since the beginning of AEW, and they're getting their figures here. So their first, almost said elites, their first Unrivaled figures in the set from AEW. So a few more things shown today. The final thing I saw today was AEW Supreme Series 3. We talked about Britt and Cody in Series 1, Malachi Black and Kenny Omega in Series 2. Now Series 3, a tag team, Rey Fenix and Penta. So getting those two in the same wave, very, very cool. Once again, 2-in-1 figures, matching characters, masked wrestlers. There is definitely a lot to like about these two being in the same wave, and I'm here for that as well. So a lot of good news today, a lot of good releases, a lot of stuff to make your wallet and head spin. We'll see what happens. The one that intrigues me the most is the Supreme line. Just personal reasons, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Do I buy 2 loose of every one and I'm in on card, or do I go just strictly loose with these? I don't know. Real estate is tough, and if they're going to keep banging out these Supreme Editions like they're doing the Ultimate Editions from Mattel, I don't know if anybody's got enough space to hold all these. But I'll have to figure it out. I got some time. I can work on it, but we'll see what happens there. But a lot of cool stuff, a lot of stuff I'm excited for. I'm sure a lot of stuff you're excited for. In the comments below, let me know who you're most excited to get. Who are you hoping to pick up? Any thoughts? Put them down there in the comments down below. And then you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell, and of course follow along on Patreon for early content, bonus content, exclusive content, and of course giveaways for the top tier members. And then of course follow along on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for a day full of AEW reveals, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.